Hello, in this video I will be talking about the switch decision structure and how it can be used to control the program execution flow based on a value introduced inside the program. First of all, I'm gonna show you how the switch works. We provide it with a variable and then we use the case keywords to provide the match that we are working for or that we are looking for. Okay? I will run the exercise and then we'll elaborate more on the results. Okay, here I will provide 0. As you can see, I entered 0, so the 0 matched the case 0. It will execute what comes after the case 0. Here I have this statement and then I have the break. The break stops the execution of everything inside the switch and provides the execution to the next state. I will do another example. I will do the 3, for example. Okay, same thing happens. Now, what happens if I remove the break from this one? I will do the execution right now, and I will use the 0. As you can see, because I removed the break statement here, the case 0 matched the 0. Okay, this 0 matched the 0 provided by n, so it will execute the statement println 0. But since there is no break here, it will continue into the next statement, which is the println of 1. Then it will execute the break and goes out and prints the goodbye. So the break here is used to stop the flow of the execution inside the switch. If it is removed, the next statement will be executed. If it is present, it will stop and gives way for the next statement after the switch. Okay, what if we have a value? We know some of the cases, but there are some that we don't know. Here comes the keyword default, which if we want to compare it to the if else, we could easily compare the default to the else statement in the if else. So here, if I enter a value for n, which is different from 0 and different from 1, it will execute everything that comes inside the default. Let's run it and see the result. If I enter 0, 0, if I enter 1, 1, and if I enter, for instance, 6, it will give me the other than 0 and 1 statement. So its role is to provide another type of case that is a different value that we didn't catch inside the cases that we have provided previously inside the switch. Here's an elaborated example of the switch. Let's see it. So here, if I enter 0, it executed only this and the break. If I enter now 1, look, it executed, it matched the case here, which is 1 equal to 1. Try to execute here, there's nothing, of course, so it will jump to the second statement. In the case 2, there is println, so it will print it. There's no break, so it will jump on the second. If there's no break, it will jump. No break, it will jump to the println and prints medium. Then it will execute the break and goes out and prints goodbye. Let's try the 4, for instance. Here 4, it matches the value 4, executes everything in 4. then it jumps into the 5 and executes the statement inside the 5. Then, of course, it will always execute the goodbye. In switches, we can only use bytes, chars, short, and integers because they are all considered like constants. Here, we can use a char as a case, okay? And we will see how this can be used. For instance, if I enter the 280, it will give me the 280. If I enter the A, it will give us an error because we are expecting an integer. But how can we use it? If I enter 65, it will match the character A which I have here, and it will print the A, and of course it will give me a break. Here, as I have said, in switch we can never use a variable. See, this variable I, it can never be used inside the case. The only way to use a variable inside the case if it is declared as final, because Java considers final variables as constant. It handles them in the same way it handles constants. So if I have a variable I want to introduce into my switch case, it must be a final variable. Let's run this. Okay, if I put 21, it will give me the results. As you can see here, 21 matches this case. So it will jump over here, nothing also stopped it, then it will jump to the default and execute the break. If we wanted to break, we could break it here and then run the same example and use 21, and you can see it matched this value and the break executed and everything stopped. I hope you like this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe.